Well, good morning, my fellow adventurers. Welcome back to Living the Grand Adventure. Day 2 here at Charles C. Deam Wilderness. Slept great last night. That new air mattress is phenomenal. Really comfortable underneath that new down sleeping quilt I have. Well, sleeping bag. I use it as a quilt. Actually, I slept comfortably in the one-man tent, so I'm quite happy with that. Did take a few minutes to go to sleep last night. It was very noisy. The frogs and animals on this pond are crazy. So if you guys come out to Site 6 in the summer, expect a lot of noise till about 2-3 in the morning. Once it started cooling off, they got a little bit more quiet. Didn't really hear much besides them. There was one point last night, I figure it was probably a nice sized toad or frog, but right in here, it sounded like something walked kind of through the site. I mean, it could have been a small animal, I'm not sure, but that was about 12:30. I was dozing at that point in time, kind of in and out because of the sounds. That woke me up for a minute, and I kind of listened to it as it walked out of the site and over into here somewhere, and that was the only thing I heard throughout the rest of the night. And I slept pretty good. It did get a little chilly about 4 o'clock, and I didn't have my sleeping bag completely on me. I rolled back up in it, got really toasty and was fine. I looked at the low. It got down to about 52 last night. Probably a little bit lower here, right here on this creek here in the woods. But other than that, it was a great night. Slept well. But yeah, up a little bit later than I wanted to today. It's about 8:15 right now. Got up about 8. So about an hour later than I wanted to be up about 7, be on trail by 8:30. It's probably going to be more likely 9:30 now. This is the best I have ever felt after hiking one day, sleeping and then getting up the next day. Normally I'm a little sore, a little stiff. I felt nothing today. My elbow's a little sore. I slept on it kind of crooked. Just kind of getting used to the air mattress and the enclosure where it's a little bit smaller in there. It took me a couple hours to kind of figure out how to lay really good and comfortably. Plus, I was on a slight incline. It's going, if you look at the tent, it's kind of going down that direction. And it's almost unnoticeable, but when you're laying down, you notice it. So I kept scooting. But other than that, my elbow is a little tender. I have arthritis in this elbow anyway. I broke it years ago. So it gets a little stiff and sore occasionally anyway. So I'll work that out throughout the day. I know some exercises I can do. I mean, even just walking on trail, if I hit a flat spot, I can work it out. The woods are very pretty. Still very secluded. I haven't heard or seen anybody. I heard a truck, and it was, of course, a very large truck out this direction, out to the northeast. About 15 minutes ago, right after I got up, I heard it go down the road. But I'd say that's a service road or something out that direction, and that's actually part of the Hoosier National Forest. That ain't even part of the Charles C. Deam Wilderness area out that way, because this is pretty much the end of that as far as heading east. But I did hear something out there, but still hear plenty of the little frogs. I've got to clear me a little area. I may even have to walk over this direction. Looks like it might be a little bit clearer. I want to say maybe I can get down to the water where it's a little bit less muck looking and get me some water for the day, because I literally have about a quarter liter of water that I will be finishing with lunch or with breakfast, and then I've got to refill. I'm hoping to fill up my liter. Well, I've got a 1.5 liter bottle and a liter bottle. We'll fill both those up and take those with me, and then I'm going to drink a liter or at least a half liter before I even get on trail. That way I don't have to worry about dehydration or anything. It's comfortable this morning. But I'm going to get breakfast going. I'll see you on the trail, guys. So I've got, give or take, 8 miles. And that's according to the map I have for the area. My All Trails app is not very reliable on this trip, and that's, I think, has to do with a lot to do with the fact that they updated the app about a month ago, and not thinking, I just have always trusted that app. You know, I've had it for 2 years, never had a problem out of it. I can't get any of my downloaded maps for offline navigation to load. I've got GPS, but there's no map. You know, there's a basic topography map, which I've been comparing that to the map I have now from the area that I printed off, and using my compass I've been able to navigate just fine. Thank God I know how to do that, but if I was relying solely on that app, it could be a problem, guys. So I'm gonna go home and tinker with it, and if nothing else, contact their customer service and see if maybe I'm doing something wrong with the way they've updated it. It's just a shame after 2 years that you have to relearn an app that you've been using for 2 years, you know? But it's no big deal, especially once I get out of this area. The area is nowhere near as remote. And if you can tell, this is very overgrown. Like I told you, this trail last night is pretty overgrown. And if I had not kind of known where I was going, I may have turned around and went a different direction. Oh, this is a bunch of thorn bushes right through here, guys. It's easier to go up than down. Get off me. All right, through that mess. But yeah, this is the trail. Oh yeah, and I'll show you this entrance like I was talking about last night, that I almost missed this. So I'm coming along from this direction. I'm coming around the bend here, and it goes out that way, and I'm like, well, that's a pretty easy path. But then I got to looking at my map about 100 feet that direction. I was like, okay, this is going the wrong direction from the pond. So I come back, went to there. It's like there should be a division somewhere. That's easily missed if you're not paying attention. It does go right up into the woods. Give it another few weeks, that may be completely overgrown. So if you're coming out to Site 6, look for that, guys. Yeah, that was a bit of an interesting situation last night, trying to find that. Didn't throw me off trail hardly at all, but thanks to the map and, you know, using the compass and kind of knowing which direction I'm going. I've got a compass in my left hip pocket that I always carry. It's a compass my grandmother bought me years ago when I was still in Scouts, and it's always served its purpose. I mean, it's a basic compass, and if I ever get to the point where I'm doing longer trails or really wanting to bushwhack a little bit, I'll probably end up investing in a newer compass, something a little bit better. But for what I'm doing right now, this works just fine, and it has come in handy on this trail here because, like I said, my all trails isn't working as much as I'd like it to. Now I should start actually getting signal going out this direction, I would think, because I mean, we had signal enough. We were watching YouTube videos and stuff when we were here last time, so hopefully maybe near the lake especially, which is where I'm hoping to be tonight, we'll have a little bit better signal. It's already pretty warm. It is just now about 5 after 10, so yeah, it's pretty warm already. So I know it's going to get pretty warm later today. And what's worrying me, it's actually already humid. I don't mind the heat so much, but the humidity, that can really get to you guys. Beautiful morning, guys. Loving the atmosphere now. Sun is just now reaching, you know, like it's coming up on 11 o'clock, so it's getting towards midday, and the colors in the sky and the light in the trees are awesome. I'm up on this ridge again, heading back the direction I want to go for today, hopefully getting over to the lake. So beautiful day though. I'm really enjoying it. It's still kind of quiet. It's a little bit cooler now that I've gotten up on the ridge. I didn't realize that lake, or that little pond that we stayed at last night, was actually down a little bit on elevation. but I'm up on the ridge. There's a slight breeze. It's kind of gentle, just a movement through the woods really, and it's much cooler. It's nice up in here. Pretty nice though. Like I said, it's real pretty easy trail right through here, kind of flat. It's a general incline, it seems like. Oh, we're here at the division. Like I said, I was going to show you guys. You saw this yesterday. Now we came from out this direction. That's where the camp was. So this will be all new territory here. And if you can tell, right around the bend there, it looks like it goes down. So we're going to go check out this part of the park, see if I can find that little trail, that division trail that kind of intersects and takes me up towards the northern part of the trail system anyway. And you can get up there next to the lake. That's where I'm wanting to be tonight. Hopefully it'll be a little bit breezier, maybe a little bit cooler. But it was pretty warm until literally about 2 or 3 o'clock. I started noticing a little bit of a temperature change last night. Up until then, it was warm. Yeah, it looks like it starts going downhill, guys. So right there at the top of that hill there is actually the southern terminus of the Sycamore Trail, where it intersects back in that loop that I was telling you about. I would have recorded that division, but I seen people's. Actually, there's a campsite right there at that division, and there was a 3-tent campsite, people in there, and just there was a group there, and then there was a group walking down this road, turning onto there, and I heard them say something that their campsite was even further down. So, a lot of people up in there. Glad I chose where I went yesterday. I was much more secluded. I wouldn't have neighbors, or I didn't have neighbors. Whereas if I went this direction and thought about going right there, there were people. So, been in here almost 24 hours, and that's the first people I've seen. So, that's kind of cool. Like I said, more than likely I get over towards the lake, I'm gonna see more people. Even today with it being just Thursday. So, but I mean, that was a group of 3 walking, and then there was 4 people in the site that I saw from the trail where I was at. So definitely people up in here. I knew there were. Like I said, I mean, even at the trailhead I was at, there were the 4 cars plus mine. But starting up another uphill, so I'm gonna go ahead and knock this out. I should be from that division, according to all trails and the map that I looked at, it should be about 1.3 to the trail that I'm wanting to hit to go north. Coming along the trail's right over there, if you can tell. I looked over here to the right, and this is, I would assume, the foundation and structure of an old building or something. And it's kind of starting to fall apart, and got a tree right in the middle of it. I thought that might actually be a campsite, but I mean, maybe you could get hammock over in there, but I don't see a fire ring. You could camp there if you wanted to. No tents. It's on the downhill there, kind of. But yeah, this is kind of a little find, because I'd say it was some type of structure of some sort that, of course, is fallen by the wayside, and you know, the last things that are left are just pretty much the foundation and the lower part of the walls. May even have been a wood structure at one point in time. But yeah, just coming up through there and happened to see that, and I thought I'd show you guys. You know, neat little fun like that on trail is kind of cool. You know, just something from the past. Not sure what it was. Kind of see where these guys may have been camping or parked for their camping, because they look like they were kind of leisurely camping, guys. It's not too much far of a walk there. That's not too bad. That's only maybe a quarter mile. Very similar to say site 4, the campsite right over in there. It says no camping, but there's somebody's been camping there recently. But similar to campsite 4 there at Mohican, not much of a walk. I had actually planned on, or I thought about parking here, but I kind of liked my spot where I'm at to hike out on my last day, because it'll be closer to hike out. This actually is the fire tower parking lot, which is kind of cool. And there are a couple cars here. These guys weren't here yesterday when I came through. Now I just gotta figure out where I'm going on my trail. But yes, here's the fire tower, and no, I won't be climbing it. I think it's actually closed. Even if it's not, I'm not going to climb it. So yeah, we are right here. We're going to this. This is the little thing I'm wanting to come to. This is where I'm parked, and then we're going to head that direction. Going up to the lake. But yeah, I'm not going to climb this. I may come back and climb it tomorrow or when I leave if it's open, but I'm saving my legs for the trail as is. Yeah, and this is the parking lot here at the fire tower. There's your little bit of signage. Sorry to block that sun a little bit. But anyway, a little bit of signage about this fire tower. It does look like it's open at least a little ways up. But like I said, I'm saving the legs for the rest of the day because I've got some miles still to hike. And it looks like this is the trail that I'll be taking. Yes. Alright, so we are officially back into trail territory here instead of what like I said, felt like a service road to me. I think we'll stop right here at the sign, get us a little bit of water, and then we'll get on, see how many miles we can pound out over the next little bit. Well guys, it's about 15 after 1. I made it to that division trail, which actually ended up being just the road that runs through the park, through the wilderness, the Tower Ridge Road. I walked that back to the trailhead where I parked the car. Figured that was a good place to stop and eat lunch. So I ate lunch at the car, kind of got some water in me, a little bit of food, some caloric intake. Feeling pretty good now. Like I said, it's about 1:15. According to the map, even if I go all the way to the end of the peninsula, I only have 4.7 miles. I should be at site, even if I go all the way there, about 4:30 easy. That's 3 hours. But I will have to stop along the way and get some water filtered because I am down, if you can tell, literally I have a half a liter of water. Could get interesting because I'm pretty sure, according to my research, the next point of water is at least 2 miles. But I did drink over a liter of water sitting there while I had lunch. So I'm pretty filled up on water right now, and it's not super hot yet. It's starting to come in though. I'm starting to feel some of the ambient air temperature get warm, the humidity's coming in. Now I've got to make a determination which way I want to go to get over here to the lake. Pretty sure I will go straight at this intersection because this is the entrance trail from the trailhead. This is Grub Ridge, runs out that way, or no, Grub Ridge runs this way and this way, and this is Axiom, which is the way I went yesterday. So pretty sure we're going out this way. I'm going to check all trails on my map to make sure. Pretty sure we're going north. So yeah guys, just as I thought, going north from that intersection on the Grub Ridge Trail. Don't want to go south. That actually takes us back to the horse camp, which is, you know, where we started last time when we were here. So kind of seeing that area, other than of course the Grub Ridge Trail, that part of the section. That's something for future videos, maybe future trips. But for now, going this way. This is Grub Ridge, the northern end of it, and we're gonna see what we see up through here. Kind of a wide open trail right through here too. Definitely not a lot of blazing. I mean, you know, some of the more remote sections I've had to do that, especially like, you know, over there around Site 6, getting over to it. And there were a couple of spots in the valley there on the Axiom Trail that there were a little bit more overgrown sections, but this has been pretty straight. Guys, that'd be a nice little spot for a campsite. Not too far in. Actually, it is a campsite. Right there's a fire ring. Let's go over and take a look at it real quick. Yeah, this is probably a quarter mile from that trailhead where I'm parked at. Pine Woods. Yeah, typical fare. You know, you get you a tent in here, plenty of hammocks, some logs to sit on. Kind of cool. This is one of the first hiker made sites that I've actually seen that's actually been used recently. So that's kind of neat. And here is site 10, guys. And awesome. That's even not too far from that trailhead either. So here's site 10. It's a nice site, nice big site. Definitely could get a number of hammocks, a couple of bigger tents, and even like 4 or 5 small tents. This is what irritates me. I mean, you've got this nice fire ring over here. Why build another fire here? Because this literally takes up a spot where you could put a tent. But nice area, not nice campsite. And a little bit of trash there. Might swing back by if I come. I can't remember. I think I will be coming back this direction along this area. If it's still sitting there, I might pick that up and carry that out. Not gonna carry it all the way to the lake and back because that looks like an actual bag of trash. But I'll carry it a quarter mile by hand. We'll stop and see if it's there tomorrow or the next day whenever I come back through. Kind of did that to emphasize the fact that this area is much more marked than any area I've been in here yet, and that includes when we were back here in March on the Cope Holler Trail in that area. It wasn't as marked. I've seen that's probably the 6th sign probably in the last quarter mile. So I would assume, just from a logical deduction there, that more than likely this is a much more heavily trafficked area. And for the most part, this is actually the worst I've seen as far as trail. You know, a little bit of roots, some rocks. This is it. Up until this point, it's been flat, kind of a hard dirt surface. Very easy trail. Kind of shocked how easy it's been. Especially like with some of the stuff I did yesterday and even earlier this morning. Yeah, this is a welcome change. So it's kind of interesting. Looking over there, I thought that might be a campsite, but it's not. Just an open area. But yeah, this has been much easier trekking, especially considering what I faced on the Axiom Trail yesterday. That area was very tight and a little bit more rugged. This has been, you know, Mohican level even, as far as, you know, how hard it is. It's very easy. Like I said, this is probably the worst section I've been in so far, and it's a little bit more washed out. But even then, I mean, guys, that's not too bad of a trail. You got some root walking stuff right through here. But like I said, up until literally when I flipped the camera on this time, it's been basically just a hard path and just walking. A couple of long trails right over here, runs right down through there, if you can tell. We are at site 11 now. Post is right over there showing that this is site 11. Nice little area. Definitely conducive for tents. A fire ring. Looks like there might even be another little area over here you can camp at. If you want to be a little bit more secluded, they do have a little fire ring here. This, you could probably get some hammocks up in here a little bit easier over on this side. So, you know, taking a look at, this is what you got. It's in a pine forest. It's kind of neat. Got your pine needles on the floor, on the ground there, on the forest floor. But yeah, it's an okay site. I mean, you know, I've seen a couple better here, but it's another option for you guys if you want to come in and check out site 11. But I'm heading on because I'm going towards the lake. And like I said, once again, this is pretty much what you're looking at as far as trail. There have been a couple of ups, a couple of downs, a little bit tighter area, but for the most part, this is what you're looking at. A wide, beat down path. Get ready to start through a small pine forest here. Cool. If you can hear in the distance down that valley, there's those cicadas we talked about. I don't know if the mic's picking that up. Probably is, but we'll see in editing. If I got to boost the signal a little bit, it's cool. But yeah, they're going nuts again. Just where I'm up on the ridge, they're not all around me. They're down in the valley a little bit. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, this is pretty much all the trail I've seen since I left the trailhead there at the car. Much different than yesterday when I first left the trailhead and went down into that valley. This is just wide open trail walking, guys. It's been kind of pleasant after this morning. This morning kind of beat me down a little bit. Some of that tight area over in that one area. And then getting back to the car, having to do that road walk. You shucked. Doing that road walk did kind of stink. And you gotta trail it that way. Trail it that way. This looks like it might be a game trail right through here. This is probably leading out to maybe more camper-made sites. But see, once again, this trail is very well marked. Definitely not going to get lost on this trail. Whereas, like the Cope Hollow, we did get turned around a couple of times. And the Axiom, it was kind of tight and there was no markage. I mean, you just literally followed the path, which looked similar to this, but not quite. It was even more tight. So, maybe getting a little bit more rugged here. I have seen a couple of spots on this trail like this, but then, like I said, it opens right back up into that wide open beat down path. So we'll see how it plays out going forward. But we are heading towards the lake. I'm already about 1.5 miles into this trail. This is pretty. Look at that, guys. Just noticing the trail. Yeah, if you notice right through here, here's some of the rutting from the horses, like I was talking about. I mean, it's not bad, especially this time of year because it's dry. But it's not like some trails you see where, you know, it's the entire trail is like this. You get little spots like that you go through, and they tend to be at the bottom of like either inclines or declines, you know, either side, little hills. And then you get through them, you know, and of course going back down the other side you see it again. But they're not, like I said, too bad. If it had rained recently, this would be a little muddy, but where it's really dry, it's still pretty easy trekking. You know, just gotta watch your footing, make sure that you don't hit a spot where you might trip. But this time of year, it's pretty easy. You know, kind of just follow the path of least resistance there. And I do have to give credit
where credit's due. The people who maintain this area, man, they do a fabulous job. I haven't seen any trash, very few trees. I haven't had to crawl across anything. I've gone under a few, but I haven't had to crawl across any trees. No trash on the trail, no trash at any of the sites I've been at, except that one bag, and that was probably fresh. In fact, when I stopped for lunch, like I said, I stopped for lunch there at the car, and there was a couple of guys pulled up in the truck, U.S. Forestry Service, and they come in and went through and picked up whatever little bit of litter they said. I mean, there was only maybe like a couple of pieces they even found, but they come in and did it, and I'm like, that's nice to see, you know. Wish people wouldn't throw litter on the ground, but at least they've got somebody to maintain it. So I'm working my way down what's called the Peninsula Trail now. Sitting at right at about 3.2 miles since the trailhead. Past Site 13. Site 13 is actually at the intersection of Grub Ridge and the Peninsula Trail. And there was a lady sitting there. It looked like she was, I don't think she was going to camp there because it looked like she was just sitting down, kind of taking a break, checking out her phone. She had her backpack sitting beside her. So I mean, maybe she's going to stay there and she just hadn't set up yet, but I almost bet she's having a break and going to head on out this way. But, you know, she waved and I said hello, and now moving on. That was probably about 0.2 of a mile back. Like I said, about a quarter mile I'm into the Peninsula Trail. And just moving along. Still pretty easy path. I am noticing a gradual descent, which we knew we would do that because we've got to come down to the lake, which means I get to climb back out of this tomorrow, but that's fine. True to form, just kind of as I predicted, about 1/10 of a mile back there, we came down a decline. It was pretty steep, pretty sharp, so that's going to be fun getting out of here tomorrow. I kind of had a feeling it might do that. Not much switchback, unfortunately, but it'll be okay. Because like I said, I won't have nowhere near as far to go tomorrow as I have been today. And the trail is a hair bit tighter through here, but still not too bad at all. Definitely tell I'm getting a little bit lower in elevation. If you notice, you can hear the cicadas. Whereas we weren't hearing them before, they're starting to pick up now. But moving along the trail, still not a bad day. Still kind of comfortable as far as weather goes. I'm actually starting to pick up a little bit of a breeze the closer I get down here to the water. A little bit lower in elevation, a little bit more of a breeze occasionally, and I'm hoping that will continue because it's warm, but not like unbearably hot. Of course, we are staying pretty shaded in this area, if you can tell. Was a stretch back there, about 200-300 feet, that was pretty much in the sun. That wasn't fun. That kind of stuck. It's like, whoo, a little warm there, but you know. No big deal. Just noting the trail. This is a lot of rocks and stuff through here, which it's not as easy as that path I was on up on Grub Ridge, but it's not too bad. Slowly making it to where we need to be for the night. First wildlife I've really seen is a deer. Only other thing I've kind of seen besides frogs is a squirrel and chipmunk. Be kind of quiet and see if maybe we can see something else. I kind of startled it when I first came up on that one. Standing right here. Come off this game trail. Which actually may lead back to a site. Looks like it actually may be a campsite back there. I'm not sure where it went. It went on down the trail here. That's kind of cool. Just happened to come around and I saw the rear end of a deer. Yeah, it scampered off though. Couldn't get around the corner without it, seeing me and getting spooked. Anyway, I was actually thinking to myself just now, I hadn't seen a lot of wildlife, but there you go. We're almost to the end of the Peninsula Trail, which would be where our site's at. They've had this boardwalk, very similar to what we've seen before, and then we've got this. And just another posting of the rules, which saw at the trailhead, and a number of places they've kind of put that up. Alright, looks like I got a division here. Probably some more sites out that way, but I'm heading towards the lake. This has been a hefty little hike. I didn't realize how fast and how much I've done. We'll get that grand total of it once we get over here to the site. We'll put it up on the screen. I'll let you know what I've done today. But I know it's been quite a bit, quite quickly. I hope there's sights of this over in this area. Oh, looks like there's somebody already over here on this one site. Tent there. Down this way a little bit. Oh, cool. It's a big lake. We'll see if I can find sight, guys. Alright, so guys, I'm literally about 100 feet off the trail. It's out this direction. I come across this site. It'll serve my purposes. I don't even know if I'm going to do a fire tonight. I'm really kind of just tired. Looking to probably just slap the tent up, enjoy this beautiful view, and relax. And guys, there is a breeze. Man, that feels so nice. I'm so hot. And I got down here next to the water, and it's just kind of breezy now. That feels really good. But just nice to be at site. Done hiking for the day. Get the totals right here. Pretty hefty amount for not having been out for literally 6 months, any amount of distance. So yeah, slap that up here on the screen. Whew. But yeah, I'm digging this site. Gonna have pretty nice clear sky tonight too, be able to see the stars. Yeah, this is gonna be fun, guys. Looks like a trail might actually even go out this way. I think there's actually more sites down that way. I don't need to go no further because this is plenty big enough for me. And looking at it, I should be able to find a decent, I think I'm probably over in here or back in here. Give me a little flat spot for the tent. That's all I need for the night, guys. Let me go ahead. I'm gonna relax a little bit, maybe get a little snack, go down and get some water, and then we'll start setting the site up. Guys, nothing like a refreshing dip after a long miles hike and some pretty warm weather. I just jumped out there in the water, got about knee deep so I didn't get my shorts wet, and took my buff and washed off and got good and cool. I feel pretty decent now. Thought about taking a swim, but I'm gonna go down to my skivvies because there's a kayak right there, and I'm pretty sure there's a group right down there camping right beside me because I heard somebody chopping firewood. Now this is weird. I'm not gonna go in there and look at it just yet. I might do it tomorrow if it's still sitting there just like this. But it's just a random tent. The zipper's undone. There's no rain fly, and there's no other equipment sitting around. I'm thinking maybe it's somebody out kayaking and just put their tent up to hold the site. You're not really supposed to do that, but I don't mind. I mean, technically, I guess they were there before me, and I probably wouldn't have taken that site anyway. It's a little too exposed. I like where I'm at. But yeah, I don't know if you heard just now, like a wood chop. So there's somebody at one of the sites a little bit further down, chopping wood. So it's kind of neat that they didn't take the site I took because I really didn't want to walk anymore. I was good where I was. Yeah, that guy, well, it's not really a kayaker, he's in a canoe. That's what he's in. But yeah, if you notice, that was the main trail, and I'm coming up, and here's our site for the night. So not too far off the main trail. And I'd say there's sites right over there. I've got guests. Actually, I can see through the trees, I see their tent. So yeah, there's somebody over there. Yeah, I see him. He's chopping wood. Oop, I stepped on a rock. I didn't even know they were over there when I first got in here. I was just happy to be here, see water. Oh. So we should be pretty good for the night. I've got 4 liters of water, 2 of which need to still be filtered. I had a spare Gatorade bottle that I kind of normally carry just for utilitarian purposes, and it came in handy this time. Oh, the breeze feels good on my wet body. I didn't realize how hot I'd gotten. Got me some new camp shoes. They dry really quick. They're basically just mesh and a rubberized sole that has holes in it, so it's actually designed for going into water like that. And they'll dry real quick, but my feet feel really good after getting a little bit cool. So feeling pretty nice now. It's about 15 to 5, and I've got site 99% set up. Just gonna get my chair out because I think I'm gonna sit in the chair tonight and just kind of relax. I think I gotta get the air mattress up, and that's about the only other thing, that and the sleeping bag. And then I'm in for the night, just gonna relax. I think I'm gonna sit down first to get me a quick snack, and then I'm gonna hop in this tent and get everything finished up and relax for the night, guys. About 15 to 8. Been a really enjoyable night so far. Got pretty much everything done, like I said earlier, but I mean, I'm even closer to being ready for bed and everything. Basically, I got dinner and everything else to get put up and get my bear bag up, and then I'm just gonna relax for the night. Sun is starting to slowly move down. We got, a couple hours till dark, so that's cool, but still really pretty out that way, guys, if you can tell. Just figure I'd check in with you. Not much going on. I've heard the neighbors. This group over here did go swimming for a few minutes. I mean, they went way out and were swimming and stuff. I didn't want to get my clothes soaked like that, so I thought about it, but I got wet enough that I was comfortable. There is a slight breeze now. It's been coming and going, but it's still pretty nice. Wish Alex would have come out with me. She would have loved this. And I've been kind of keeping an eye on that tent over there. I haven't seen nobody come to it. Out that direction, the only group that's here is that one group that's a little bit further over, because I can actually see the tent from right about here. I can see into that site, and there's nobody there. So I don't know if it's an abandoned tent or what. Maybe somebody had it out here and it leaked on them, and they just said, I'm not taking it with me, and they decided not to pack it back out, which is really crazy, because that's, you know, pretty much definitely goes against leave no trace. This site's pretty clean for the most part. There's a couple pieces of trash over here that I'm gonna gather up and take out with me. They're real small, and I'll be looking for that bag at that other site. And other than that, oh, big fish just jumped. But anyway, may even caught that on GoPro, I don't know. But other than that, yeah, it's a pretty clean site. Like I said, just a little bit of trash here and there. Got this, looks like a camp towel that maybe somebody left. Let's see if it has a logo on it or something. Oh, it does have, nope. Yep, it's a pack towel. Well, I guess somebody accidentally left that, so I guess I'll carry that out too, guys. Take that with me. I mean, leave no trace. And nothing else, that's an extra piece of equipment for me. Depending on how well it does versus these microfiber towels I've been using, I might start using that because it's even a little bit lighter. But obviously somebody probably just left it by accident, so figure take it home, give it a good wash, and may go into my equipment. Especially for like this. I mean that would have been great to go down there and swim in and, you know, swim with and then dry off with. So, but I am gonna grab this little bit of trash. There's a couple of pieces over here. Looks like somebody had a mountain house and they tried to burn the container and didn't get it all, and I guess it blew out of the fire pit. Yeah, one of the adventure meals by Mountain House right there. I want to grab that, put that in my trash bag. That's about the only thing I've seen really, other than that pack towel. Oh, it's like a Slim Jim wrapper right there. I'll grab that too. Little things like that, you know, we'll take out. You know, if I can leave the site better than I came into it, that's even better. So guys, it's about 10:30. Yeah, been a really nice night. Got to watch a beautiful sunset go across the lake. That's been really awesome. Now I'm just kind of sitting here waiting for bedtime, probably in the next half an hour or so. Yeah, just enjoying the cool weather. The stars have come out pretty bright, which has been awesome. In fact, to the west, Mars is actually setting directly where the sun actually sets, so I'm getting to see that as well, and that's kind of cool. It's a little buggy right here at the lake, but I did have 100% deed. I threw that on earlier, so I've actually been pretty good for that. But for the most part, like I said, a really good night. No fire. Like I said, I didn't feel like doing anything. I did kind of scout around. I found a few sticks. I said, I'm good. It's kind of noisy. There's a lot of cars that you can hear in this area. There's boats still out on the water. You can hear those a little bit. Lots of lights out across the lake. So it's kind of interesting, you know, plenty of civilization that you're seeing. But yeah, I figure I'll check in with you guys before I go to bed tonight. Tell y'all good night, and we'll see you on the trail in the morning. If you've enjoyed this video, definitely like, share, subscribe, and comment. It helps us out here at the channel. Like I said earlier, check out the Instagram and such. And been a great night being on trail, guys. Thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow on the trail in the next video. Always remember to live your grand adventure to the fullest. See you later, guys.